Prezi meets the press. And oil revenue to reach $10 billion by 2030. I am Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. We are back, and here to tell you that yesterday, our nation's president held his first press conference since taking office with his administration in August of 2020. The press conference was moderated by Kit Nascimento, and it was one in which each media house was allowed one question and one follow-up. According to Guyana News, the president spoke extensively on the key achievements made by his government, including the tripling of the Guyanese economy since the end of 2020, largely due to the startup of oil production at the Liza Unity FPSO. Guyana is still the fastest growing economy in the world and projected to grow at an average 25% annually from this year to 2026. The non-oil growth is now projected at 7.9% this year, building on 11.5% growth recorded last year. The debt-to-GDP ratio stood at 24.6% at the end of 2022, down from 38.9% in 2021. The Demerara Harbor Bridge will be closed for 3 days to replace Span 9 starting on July the 24th. To mitigate the impact of the closure, licensed water taxis will be available with 24-hour service and boat marshals to prevent price gouging. Enhanced lighting will be installed, and a 24/7 water ambulance will be on standby for medical emergencies. The Public Works Ministry will also engage with airlines to extend check-in times and advise distributors to ensure adequate supplies of goods and fuel. However, there are no set plans for alternative garbage disposal, so you'll have to hold on to your trash for those 3 days. According to statistics from the Guyana Police Force, the force has seized 13.3% more firearms in 2023 compared to the same period last year. Serious crimes have decreased by 12.6%, but murders have increased by 37%, with 85 recorded from January to July of this year. It should be noted that the police did not specify what exactly is considered a serious crime. In addition, 68 people have died in traffic accidents in 2023, up from 52 in 2022. Today, the Bar Council of the Bar Association of Guyana joined the nation in mourning the passing of Ashton Chase, politician, barrister at law, attorney at law, and the father of labor and industrial relations law in Guyana. He was responsible for piloting legislation permitting the recognition of trade unions and wrote extensively on industrial relations, labor and employment law, publishing several books in the field. In fact, it was his landmark industrial rights legislation pushed under the Chetty colonial government that spooked the British into invading, suspending the constitution, and jailing the whole colonial cabinet in October 1953. Mr. Chase is on the far right side of the photo. From left to right, it's Joseph Lachman Singh, UC Guyana, at the time he was Sydney King, Forbes Burnham, Janet Jagan, wait, where's Burnham's hat? Sorry, Janet Jagan, Chetty Jagan, and Jainarine Singh. Singh is the father of Jainarine Singh, one of the newest Georgetown City Council members under the PPP. So, if it isn't apparent from now, Mr. Chase was seriously an OG founding member of independent Guyana. His impact on law in Guyana cannot be understated. He was 96 when he died on July the 10th, but this happened whilst I was gone, so I had to recognize this because of the historic impact he's had on the nation. Although, while this photo is up, interestingly enough, UC Guyana is actually still alive, and at 98 years old, he still writes letters about Guyana from time to time. As for Mr. Chase, he appeared in dozens of cases, including landmark cases on wrongful dismissal and the application of the principle of eminent domain in Guyana.
Attention truck owners. Between potholes, bad drivers, and high fuel prices, you've got 99 problems to deal with. But with Powered Automotive, your engine ain't one. That's because they stock high-quality parts and spares you need at prices you can't beat. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles or call or WhatsApp them at telephone number 697-0170. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana.
Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GTEats is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GTEats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today.
The AFC is calling on the government to issue a travel advisory for those leaving or entering the nation from Trinidad and Tobago, following 2 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Tobago. The AFC wants clear protocols established to prevent the spread of the virus, which can range from mild to severe illness and is spread through close contact or respiratory droplets. The World Health Organization has recorded over 88,000 cases globally in 112 countries with 149 deaths. Speaking of terrible health situations, the government is currently seeking to employ nurses from Cuba to address the shortage of nurses in the nation's public healthcare sector. Many Guyanese nurses are actually opting to work in developed nations due to better salaries and working conditions, leaving the healthcare sector in droves. In fact, they are in need of hundreds of nurses to replace them. The government plans to expand its nursing program to train more nurses in the medium to long term. Now for today's oil update. The government expects revenues from oil to reach $10 billion annually by the end of the decade, with plans to spend about 60% of expected revenues up to 2025. The fund has received over $2.67 billion to date, but the government has withdrawn over $1 billion last year and the first half of this year. The fund is therefore expected to close 2023 with about $2.1 billion. The fund is projected to collect more than $970 million in royalties and profit oil payments in the period. Guyana's medium sweet crude production is ranked 17 in the world at around 400,000 barrels per day, and with the addition of 3 new projects, production is expected to exceed 1 million barrels per day by 2026.
Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home or business with Sheriff Security. Sheriff Security has well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. They speed leaving our drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. Last episode I asked, what do you think is the likely outcome of the next national elections in 2025?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Colin Pratt believes the PNC could win it in 2025 if all the members put all their weight behind the leader and to stop all the infighting, saying that the PPP is not that strong because they're mostly using our money to push their campaign. Conrad Thomas says the microphone is loud and clear. Thank you. He also said the PPP is playing world-class poker with the US, and the US is more experienced at the game. They're letting the Guyanese believe that they're the winners, when we all know the House never loses. 2025 general and regional elections, APNU AFC doesn't stand a chance. It's going to take a miracle to make that happen. The Guyanese are running away from race politics, and Mr. Norton is not doing a good job of supporting the quote, new Guyanese way. Rest in peace, Burnham style. And finally, Davy Samaru says, well, general and regional elections 2025. How's the PPPC going to lose that? The government has the backing of the US and veils over the eyes of the Guyanese people. So of course we can see through the veil, while others say, how can Abadies forget Uncle Irfan, give Abi money and Abi hand? Increased pension, school cash grant, $25,000 per household, and the like. Oh, I'm sure my Creole sounded so cringe just now. Now for tonight's question. Yesterday, the president held his first press conference since entering office in 2020. So, I want to know, if you had the chance, what question would you ask him? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Nerico Bullfoot saying good night, folks.